On July 5, 1091, William of Hirsau passed away, marking the end of a significant chapter in monastic reform and leadership in Germany. William of Hirsau, born around 1030, became an influential abbot who played a pivotal role in the monastic reform movement, emphasizing the Benedictine rule and fostering a spirit of community and learning. During his tenure, William established several monasteries, emphasizing education and the practice of the monastic life, which were crucial for spiritual growth. William's efforts led to the reform of monastic practices in Germany, addressing issues of lax discipline and promoting a return to spiritual rigor in monastic life. He also contributed to the development of a network of reform-minded monasteries across Europe, creating strong communal ties among religious houses. William's leadership and writings significantly influenced monastic education, encouraging monks to engage in intellectual pursuits alongside spiritual discipline. He founded several schools linked to monasteries, promoting literacy and theological training among monks, shaping future generations of clerical leaders. William of Hirsau's remarkable commitment to reform and education laid the foundation for the future Cistercian and Carthusian orders, directly impacting monastic life for centuries. His death in 1091 left a significant void in the reform movement, yet his teachings continued to resonate in monastic communities across Europe. Reports from contemporaries highlighted his wisdom and compassion as an abbot, earning him respect and reverence among peers and students alike. William's emphasis on communal living and mutual support fostered a sense of unity that became a hallmark of subsequent monastic communities in Germany. His reforms included strict adherence to the Benedictine rule, which urged monks to lead lives of simplicity and devoted service to God. William of Hirsau's influence extended beyond Germany, as his writings circulated and inspired monastic reforms in France and Italy. Upon his death, William was honored for his unwavering dedication to monastic life, and many commemorated him as a saintly figure in the years that followed. Historically, his legacy is viewed not only through the lens of monastic education, but also as a pivotal figure who helped shape the spiritual landscape of medieval Europe. William's life and death inspired subsequent generations to embrace monastic values of discipline, education, and community service. He authored significant texts that outlined the essential practices for monastic living, many still referenced in contemporary discussions of monasticism. William's impact continued through legal and liturgical texts inspired by his teachings, which influenced the structure of future educational institutions. His monastic reforms served as a blueprint, highlighting the interconnectedness of spirituality, education, and community within monastic settings. Although he passed in 1091, William of Hirsau's influence resonated in monastic practices for centuries, shaping European monasticism significantly. His dedication encouraged the pursuit of a structured yet compassionate approach towards monastic education that continued in the centuries to come. William's death is often noted in hagiographies, highlighting him as a figure of virtue and learning within the complex history of the Church. As the abbot of Hirsau, William created a legacy of spiritual growth that inspired monks to engage fully with their communities and society. William's impact on allowing monks to pursue both intellectual and spiritual endeavors was groundbreaking and set a precedent for future educational structures within the Church. After his death, discussions on his teachings flourished in monastic circles, leading to deeper reflection on reforms that transcended regional boundaries. William's writings inspired many to lead lives dedicated to the principles of charity education, and hard work, virtues that remain relevant in modern monastic practice. William of Hirsau was born around 1030 in the heart of Germany, in a period marked by a growing desire for reform within the Church, which set the stage for his later contributions. During his early years, William embraced the Benedictine monastic life, deeply influenced by the rule of Saint Benedict, which emphasized prayer, work, and community living, setting a solid foundation for his future endeavors. William became abbot at Hirsau Abbey, where he implemented strict adherence to the monastic rules that transformed the institution into a center of learning and spirituality, attracting many disciples seeking guidance. Through his leadership, William led the reconstruction and organization of several monastic communities, enhancing their spiritual and educational missions and addressing the lax discipline rampant at the time. William's reformative vision extended to establishing schools within monasteries, where literacy and religious education flourished. This initiative laid the groundwork for educational institutions in Europe. In the broader context of the Church, William's emphasis on education and discipline resonated with reform efforts, contributing to a larger movement that sought to revitalize the spiritual lives of monastic communities across Europe. His influence led to the founding of several new monastic communities that upheld his teachings, reinforcing a network of like-minded institutions dedicated to reform across Germany and beyond. William's integrity and commitment to the monastic life elevated his standing among contemporaries, often engaging in correspondence with other influential monastic leaders of his time, sharing ideas and best practices. Recognized for his spiritual wisdom, William was consulted on various ecclesiastical matters, gaining respect as a stalwart defender of the monastic life amid rising secular pressures. William emphasized community service as a vital aspect of monastic life, encouraging monks to engage with local communities, thus reinforcing the Church's role in societal development. During his later years, William's health began to decline, yet his dedication to his monastic duties never wavered, continuing to guide his community with wisdom and compassion. On July 5, 1091, surrounded by his devoted monks, William of Hirsau breathed his last, leaving behind a legacy of reform and dedication that would be revered for centuries. After his death, William was honored for his contributions to the Church, often cited as a saintly figure whose guidance continued to inspire future generations of monks. William's emphasis on education and community service became foundational principles for later monastic reforms, influencing both the Cistercian and Carthusian orders in their development. His writings and correspondence became essential resources for monastic leaders, continuing to shape their practices and deepen their commitment to rigorous spiritual discipline. William's teachings promoted not only spiritual discipline, but fostered a sense of camaraderie among monks, encouraging cooperation and mutual support within monastic communities. In the decades following his death, the influence of William of Hirsau continued to resonate within the Church, contributing to increased literacy and education across Europe. The reform movement initiated by William laid the foundation for the Cluniac reforms, which further emphasized the importance of strict observance of the rule of Saint Benedict across European monasteries. By promoting intellectual pursuits alongside spiritual growth, William's legacy fostered a blend of scholarship and faith that helped shape the ecclesiastical landscape of Europe during the medieval period. The reverence for William in later centuries transformed him into a figure of veneration, inspiring countless works of art and literature centered on his life and teachings. Many monastic communities adopted William's practices, institutionalizing them into their constitutions, ensuring that his ideals would be upheld for generations to come. The ideals William of Hirsau championed eventually influenced the broader social movements aimed at moral and spiritual renewal throughout medieval Europe, affecting secular governance as well. By emphasizing the importance of education, William paved the way for future reformers who championed literacy and knowledge as tools for spiritual and civic improvement. In summation, William of Hirsau remains a pivotal figure in the history of monasticism, whose legacy continues to inspire the spiritual and educational endeavors within the global church today. William of Hirsau passed away, leaving behind a legacy of monastic reform that inspired future generations. Born around 1030, William embraced the Benedictine monastic life with a fervor, fostering strict discipline among monks in his abbey. His leadership transformed Hirsau Abbey into a center of learning, emphasizing education and spiritual enlightenment among monks. William established several new monasteries, creating a network that linked reform-minded institutions throughout Europe. He faced challenges, including resistance to reform, but persisted, demonstrating resolve and unwavering faith. Through his reforms, William emphasized communal roles, urging monks to engage with society and serve their communities. As he aged, William remained active in guiding his community, demonstrating dedication to his monastic vision. William's death on July 5, 1091, was a moment of sorrow for his community, marking the end of an era. Posthumously, he was venerated for his commitment to reform, being recognized as a saintly figure among his followers. His teachings and writings inspired the formation of the Cistercian and Carthusian monastic orders that followed. William's emphasis on education and discipline shaped future monastic education and inspired broader reforms in the Church. His influence extended beyond the borders of Germany, inspiring monastic reforms in France and Italy. William's legacy laid foundational principles for later monastic reforms, blending scholarship with faith across Europe. His life called upon monks to engage fully with their communities, advancing moral and spiritual renewal during a crucial time. William of Hirsau's influence on monastic practices inspired a renewed focus on education and service that continues to this day. The impact of his reforms continues to be honored in various religious institutions and during annual commemorative events. William's teachings transcend time, affecting the spiritual paths of many throughout generations in various religious practices. His lifelong commitment to reform and education showcases a model of integrity and purpose for future leaders within the Church. The spirit of William of Hirsau remains a vital part of monastic culture, often referenced in discussions on effective leadership in monasteries today. William's journey illustrates the power of faith and education intertwined, establishing a legacy that continues to influence modern spirituality. The transformation of monastic life initiated by William is seen as a critical element in the broader evolution of Western Christian thought. William of Hirsau's death marked a bittersweet chapter, a departure yet a fulfillment of ideals that he fostered, still alive in the hearts of many.